Virgo, welcome back to Steampunk Psyche. I appreciate you. If you are a subscriber, much love, and I am so grateful that you joined us here. If you're brand new to the channel or cross-watching, hit the thumbnail. Come on in here, okay? I've just put out some brand new videos. You can check those out. But we are going to be doing, for Virgo, a 16-card read, okay? We're going to take a look at what your present energy is and your crossing challenge, of course. But we're also going to take a look at some of those underlying aspects maybe that have held you back from 2025 into coming into 2026. I'm not going to sugarcoat these answers for you. I'm not that type of person. I want to talk the truth. I don't want to make these cards something they're not. I want to maintain the integrity of the tarot deck with the archetypes, okay? I will try to, in the best possible way that I can, to apply them to a situation. It may resonate with you. It may not resonate with you, okay? Only take what fits, okay? And just because the first two cards come out and they may challenge your mind or mindset, okay? Keep in mind, that's the whole point, all right? So that we can learn and move into 2025, 2026 together with a new understanding about something. So with that being said, Virgo, your very first card to come out, the King of Cups, okay? This is your present energy. You could be a masculine, a divine masculine, okay? You could be a feminine with the King of Cups, masculine energy of the king. We'll try that again. Let's just say emotional wise, and let's say very grounded with your passion. You're passionate, very, you could be a very handsome person, okay? You could be sexy, right? You could be this type of person that is very emotionally astute, a rico suave, right? Anyway, that's your present energy. If it applies to you, just, fill out the blanks for me. But you're into your emotions, okay? You're a very emotional person, whatever it is. Very grounded in that. You may lead by your sexuality. I lead by mine. I'm not afraid to talk about sex, baby. I know that's an old song, but all right. So next card is your crossing challenge, okay? The Eight of Wands. Now, you might say, why would that be a challenge? Something coming in for certain. So for 2025 up till now, okay, you very well could have been waiting on that Mrs. Santa Claus if you're a holiday watcher. You could have very well been waiting on that Mrs. or Madam Queen, right? The divine feminine, if you're the divine masculine. And perhaps something came in really, really quick. It could be relationship. It could have been finances. It could have been fill in the blanks. And we'll move forward from there, okay? What we're going to do is take a look at what is lying underneath of this King of Cups energy, your present energy right now, who we are, okay? Virgo. So in the present, in this foundation underneath, you had the King of Wands. Like I said, maybe you are a very handsome, beautiful person, which makes sense. You could be a masculine. You don't have to be. Fire sign, definitely see the salamanders. And I say that because the King of Wands is if there is anybody who would stand side by side with the King of Cups, it would be the King of Wands, okay? So either you were waiting on some kind of information about an emotional situation, okay? Maybe that already took place for you. Maybe you received that information. But fire, oh, I don't have another word. I think you guys need to leave in the comments another word I could use that would, I just get chicka wow wow, like a hot, steamy romance, an affair, a type of something that lit your fire. Whatever that was, okay, for 2025. Could be like it's happening right now. In fact, you could have just finished your business and hit my video. I don't know. However, underlying also is the Three of Pentacles energy, which is a collaborator. You're a person that is able to get along with people. Perhaps you're in a specific group where, you share similar interests of some kind. And since you're a romancer, I wonder what those interests might be. All right. But I'm just saying you are a collaborator. And in the recent past, you could have done work with other people, sharing ideas, okay? Egos aside. This is communication back and forth, reciprocated. It could have been about finances, could have been about a relationship, could have been health, wealth, stability, all those generic little terms. But the Three of Pentacles talks about the sharing of ideas. Somebody is up on the soapbox. They say A, you say B. So a reciprocated effort. So there was definitely a reciprocation in this, excuse me, throat chakra again, in this this King of Wands energy also. Now, lying underneath also is the wish fulfilled. You feel like maybe at some point you have received lots of rewards, okay? The Nine of Cups is the overindulgence in joy. And perhaps, with this saying that, maybe the King of Wands is a romancer, the Three of Pentacles is a collaboration, and the Three of Cups is also overindulging in joy. So what that means, in the past, you could have partied your ass off, burnt the candles from both ends. You could have been the type of person that, doesn't get home till 6 in the morning and has got to be at work at 7. I don't know. I'm just saying these are energies. But keep in mind, the Nine of Cups is also the wish fulfilled. So in the recent past, maybe that wish of having that killer romance or whatever took place. Excuse me. And that could have been part of that, that wish fulfilled as well. Okay, now it follows with the Four of Cups. However, the Four of Cups was in the reverse position. So I feel like you're removing yourself from some kind of an energy, okay, that kept you stuck. And perhaps that overindulgent type of scenario may have happened. Maybe you were dating multiple people. We do have 3 pentacles. It doesn't have to apply. If the shoe fits, wear it, right? And I'm not judging, okay? But I feel like with the Four of Cups as an emotional card, talking about our emotions, talking about things that we've been holding on to, you'll notice paying way more attention. Oh, I'll get it right. JT, get it right. 3 cups down below. His eyeballs, or she, or her eyeballs are fixated on those 3 cups and not paying a damn bit of attention to that hand coming out of the clouds. We all do this. We all focus on what our most present, highest energy is. And if that's sex, every 9 minutes, I'm there, baby. You know what I mean? But it could also be that something from the past, okay? Now, when you were in the reversed position, that what that means to me is you're letting go of some of those emotional things that, and maybe this has been an experience for you throughout 2025. Now we're going to move on, okay? We're going to talk about the recent past, and that makes sense. This card coming out right now, the Temperance card. Excuse me, the recent past, you could have been dealing with a Sagittarius. We don't have to, and we're not going to bash any other signs, but we are saying you could have very well been dealing with a Sagittarius. But the Temperance card is talking about that kind of balance that I was talking about, emotional wise. Balancing the emotional with the spiritual. 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on land, right? We could be talking about water signs as well. We don't have to be. Okay. So Pisces, Sagittarius, Cancer, but we don't have to be talking about that. But it was definitely talking about something where you had to pull back and get some balance. Something knocked the wind from your sails, so to speak, right? And you had to pull back. So the next card in that recent past was the Six of Wands, okay? A celebration of some kind. The difference is it was in the reverse position when I pulled it. I will be getting a camera to start showing these spreads, so just hang on. It's coming. I'm just trying to order throughout the holiday seasons, like pulling your own teeth. Kind of hurts. The Six of Wands in the reverse position means that you were expected to be celebrated in some kind of way, okay? You were let down by that. Something took place. Could be some jealousy involved, some secrecy involved, something that happened in your recent past. Whereas it should have been an outside saying, what a great job, or, happy birthday, whatever. Somebody missed your birthday. Somebody missed an important event, some kind of celebration. Could have been your own anniversary. I hope that wasn't the case. Somebody missed the anniversary and then you just, okay. Anyway, so the next card to come out, this was, like I said, the recent past was the Five of Cups, okay? It too was also in the reverse position. So the Five of Cups in the upright talks about some emotional moving on, okay? I'm no longer going to accept that which does not emotionally fulfill me, and I almost feel a loss, right? However, this is also talking in the reverse position about a loss, gaining perspective on it. So it's not actually as negative as the other side of that card, okay? Now, they're not bad cards. They're just there to expose to us that which we sometimes refuse to see. And I feel like that's what it's talking about. You kind of refuse to, you kind of maybe refuse to see something about perhaps a situation, about this. In other words, there may have been some information as to why you didn't get celebrated or whatever this was that you took a little harshly, and then you turned inward and said, I'm just going to hold a little bit of a grudge for just a little bit. I don't know. You might be that way. The next card to come out was the Ace of Wands. However, it also fell in the reversed position. So this could talk about maybe perhaps kind of putting a little bit of a taint. Wait, that's a terrible word. Putting a stop or a hold on this passion, this romance. And like I said, it could have been talking about, you know, you got wands, right? You got wands in the mix. You're a romancer. Okay, so that was the recent past, and maybe that happened. Maybe that applies. Maybe it doesn't. The shoe fits. We're still going to roll on, though. We're going to roll on now to the possibilities, okay? The possibilities here. Virgo. All right, so the possibilities. Virgo, you are juggling a lot, okay? Or you're learning how to juggle a lot. Like I said, if you're a romancer and you got one or two or three people you're trying to date, that's a lot. It's trying to balance out that, commotion that takes place. You see the ocean waves back there. So I try to remain with the archetype as the card, but also try to give you some kind of a earthly application. You got too many irons in the fire going on. That's an old reference, but you got too many girlfriends, too many boyfriends. You got work, partying, girlfriends, whatever it is. You know what it is, all right? Staying out too damn late, get you some rest. But it's juggling all that. However, you are a juggler. You are a person who knows how to balance things, right? Okay. Virgo is a mutable sign. Virgo is very adaptable. They can do this, okay? But they also know it drains the hell out of them when they do. So, next card up, which is what I was talking about before. We had the 5 of Cups. Now we have the 8 of Cups. It's graduated. It's gotten a little bit more. 2025 slid along, and you're starting to see what happens when you do that. If this is for a young person, I mean, just there you go, right? I'm not calling you bad or nothing like that. It's just there you go. Hey, you're burning your candles from both ends. And I know it's kind of an old phrase to use, but I'm just saying that you're going to have to sleep sometime, right? Maybe you'll sleep all the way through 2026. However, you're walking away, okay? This is not a defeat. It's not a defeat. It's that I'm not being emotionally supported, okay? So all of these relationships that's taking place, I'm just not finding any balance in it. I'm not finding any kind of a reciprocated effort that motivates me. I'm not finding people in my life who pick me up and support me in that way. I'm not saying you need to be supported by any man or any woman. You don't need validation, but your heart needs to know that it's emotionally supported as well. There's way more than sex, right? There's that. I don't even want to go into it because then you go, well, you left this out. But you know what I mean? There's way more to it than that. You want to be seen. You want to be heard. You want to be loved. You want to know that that person's paying attention to you. Okay. The next card to come out was the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. However, it fell in the reverse position. Okay. The Knight of Pentacles is when I make a plan, I stick to it. Okay. And it makes sense if you haven't been sleeping in 2025 that it would have been in the reverse position. It's hard to make plans, it's hard to set goals. It's hard to stay motivated. It's hard to make good connections when you're tired, when you're sleepy. This could apply not just to that situation. And so bear with me. But what I'm saying is it pulled you in retreat. Okay. It made you and forced you. Sorry. This one actually did come out the way it's supposed to, the Hangman. So we could also be talking about a Pisces here or another water sign. Okay. Scorpio, Cancer. It doesn't have to be in your timeline there. But it pulled you back and made you start to see. So I feel like towards the end of the year or coming into this part of the closing of this year, you're starting to realize that. I kind of feel like I might be speaking to a younger person here. This might be a little individualized. I don't know. We are going to show up. We are going to show up. I am going to pull cards now to talk about how you're showing up in this, okay? The Two of Swords is I need to make a decision. In the upright, it's a decisive decision. I have to make this. It's going to either be forced or forced upon me. You are in the reversed position. So you're kind of putting off a decision about something. It's like, I know, but it's so good. It's so fun. It's so this. I know I need to do this, but bada, bing, bada. Right? We all do it. We procrastinate. So it's a title of procrastination is what it is. You're putting it off. You know you have a decision to make, but you're putting it off. Because you know, doing this work may be tough. Once again, we could be talking about an Aquarius here in your timeline that you may be seeing, or I don't want to say this, but I got to doing. I don't know. All right. So the star card is talking about your chakra centers. Okay. It's talking about you have to remain balanced, you know, and when we lose sleep, when we party all the time, when we, you know, and it's not even just partying. It's just, you know, when we're busy lifed, okay, and we don't take time to balance out. We don't take time for ourselves. We don't take time to get clear. The hanged man position, you know, the hanged man is not hung up there, okay, by anybody else but himself. It's a purposeful act. You deliberately make that choice, okay, and that's why he's in the hanged man position. But the star card is there to remind you you need to pull back to rebalance. Okay, you have to always nourish your spiritual side. Okay, with the land side over here. Okay, if I can get my finger right. Yeah, it's the balance there. You know, and she's also in the position where she's stooped over. It's like I'm honoring this. I have to honor this. Okay, so it's really making that decision. It makes sense with the Two of Swords, knowing in the reverse position that it's like, I know I need to honor myself. I know that I need to balance out. I know. Okay. So also how you're showing up here, the Six of Swords, a little damage. Some things took place that you know you're moving into some calmer waters with. Okay. That could have been lack of choices that you made. Could have been decisions that you kind of fell short with or whatever it is. This is not to put you down, Virgo, at all. If you have stuck with me this far, I appreciate you. We're going to continue to clarify. So hang in there because there is good news. You're showing up as somebody who is very decisive, okay? You act upon your decisions and it doesn't matter. And that's a good way to be, right? I mean, there's no reluctant in this card, okay? It's not, I might act. You are a person that makes a plan and you stick to it. And what that means is you can do that very same thing with the Sun card. So I feel like you're about to make that decision. You're going to do it. You're making plans. The Ace of Swords talks about that. It is a card in the archetype to say that there is an action that is most definitely about to take place. Okay. And I feel like that's you making that decision. Okay. And congratulations. Cool, right? You can only ride and die for so damn long before you're just on the other side, which is okay too. That's a permanent energy also. All right. So now we are talking about the self and how you're showing up in this. How is Virgo showing up in this right now? Okay. All right. Yes. The Three of Wands. Look at the two wands behind them there. Okay. That is, hey, you know, I remember when I did this back in the day, I hit the gym, you know, I felt freaking great when I did it. All right. This is, you know, I may go buy that new car. I may just go ahead and do it, invest in it. I know it's going to be a good investment. I may be out a little money, but I know it's a good investment. The Three of Wands is the investment type card. Is my ship going to come in? Or is my ship going to sail out of the harbor? Okay. It is knowing that you have to definitely make this move. Okay. It's past the two. The Two of Wands is I need to make a decision. I'm looking out. This is now I'm moving forward. I've got my two wands planted. I've made investments in this. This is emotional wise. Okay. This is also talking about, like I said, an emotional investment, or that you're making this plan and it's, you know, you're watching its progress now. Okay. So kudos. You're about to roll into 2026. This is the best way to come into it. Okay. Virgo, hopes, fears, wishes, and worries. Hopes, fears, wishes, and worries. Okay. Okay. The Strength card. Right? Leo, Could be talking about a Leo here, right? Fire sign. Um, fixed signs. We could be talking about showing yourself more compassion. You're already a compassionate person. We saw that. However, the King of Cups was your present energy, and the Eight of Wands coming in. There could be very well. I feel like there may be a Leo coming into your path. That may be the case. But the Strength card is there to remind us about compassion. She's putting her hand into the lion's mouth, so to speak. That's what the old readings used to talk about, And it takes a really a particular individual to do that, right? You don't just put your hand into a damn mouth of a lion. But what I feel like is that, once again, with this Ace of Swords, definite thing that's coming in for you, make sure that you have a passion towards it, right? Remember, I said you move with your compassion. So if you don't feel any compassion in it, then it may be reflecting back on that Five of Cups that we saw earlier. Okay, that no more emotionally, it's not fulfilling for you. So that may be a reminder with the Strength card. I kind of feel like that's where that's going with that. So, all right, Virgo, outcome and direction. What is the outcome and direction for Virgo? It's a beautiful Earth sign for 2025, the ending of it. The year just had its way, and now we're looking at some progress. We're looking at making these plans, whether these are New Year's resolutions or whatever they are. I feel like you're definitely going to be stepping into that power, moving into it. So how about the Four of Wands? Outcome and direction. How about a proposal? How about a united effort, a coming together, a celebration of some proportion that's a very substantial situation. I could clarify that, but I feel like what I want to do is let you. In fact, I know what I'm going to do. This is what you're going to have to do, because I'm not going to clarify it for you. Make your decision. Do it. Stick to it. Virgo, come back. Let me know in the comments. I got you, JT. I hear you. I did it. And this is the outcome. Okay. All right. I bought that brand new car. I let two people in my relationship go, and I just decided to go with one. I made that investment in myself. I started to pull back and focus inward with my emotions and getting control. The eureka moment came, and I took advantage of it at the time. Okay. And this is what happened. Virgo, I love you. I appreciate you. I hope I get to see you on the next one. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. See ya.